Welcome back to another episode of the BKS show. Here tonight with a special new guest, Stephen Gindy, who looks like he's going to be a permanent mainstay on this show, alongside Joey Sutton as well. We're missing our good friend Louis Bitesh tonight. He forgot about tonight's broadcast.
Wild week 2 we had. Excellent games, cold weather, and not much change in the standings.
But definitely things have changed in the on paper tonight with a major blockbuster deal that just happened about 3 minutes ago Eastern Standard Time. And the captains came to a nice agreement where both sides were able to come out as winners in each other's eyes, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
There was a lot of players traded. Many players traded. I would say, how many guys are in the deal?
8 total.
8 guys are in the deal, so please stay tuned tonight so that you can see if you are trading jerseys this Sunday.
I'll tell you, I don't think this is the end of the trading block here. With 8 guys moved around, other teams will see opportunity, maybe go 1 for 1 with certain guys that now they may have a play for. So,
absolutely,
stay tuned for a lot more to come by the end of the night and probably tomorrow morning as well.
Always exciting. Let's jump into the recaps of this week's games.
Before we recap the games, don't mind me. I'm gonna recap last week's show. I'm gonna recap last week's show quickly.
2 weeks ago. Last week we didn't have a show because of the rain.
Right. I'm gonna recap 2 weeks ago's show. As per the viewers, there was a large request to keep Stephen J in.
Why wouldn't you? Did you see it?
It was unbelievable. His insight was great.
I didn't miss myself at all while he was here.
And due to the viewers' response, here he is again.
Right.
Okay? Let me tell you something though, viewers. I'm not going anywhere. I own the broadcasting channel. The station runs through me. Whether you like it or not, I will always be here. So Stephen Rudy, you'll always be Duty. You just watch the show, honey. We'll broadcast it. That's all I have to say.
Noted.
Let's go on to the show.
Well, anyway, I'll just say, it's good to have you here tonight. And you're always...
I want to say one thing. A lot of stuff that goes behind the scenes. First, to start, we're in his house. Okay, his wife put out a nice spread,
which I'm not eating tonight.
He spent 15 minutes setting up both cameras on the YouTube and on the Mac.
We don't have
a lot of effort.
Not here for any credit. Sure.
Yeah, let everyone finish.
All right, just respect the team. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm not here for.
I'm honored to be here.
I'm not here for any credit. I'm just letting Duty know that I ain't going anywhere.
Duty knows. Everybody knows. Duty knows. Okay.
All right, let's jump right into yesterday's games. Beautiful Sunday morning. I thought it was going to be a lot colder than it ended up being. Fields played really well, and everyone was ready to play for a week 2 that was delayed by a nice 7 days. We'll start off with Abe Co. against Stop and Go. Let's not get confused. Abe Co. is not A.B. Cohen's team. Who is the captain on Abe Co.?
Joe Ciferati.
That's your team?
Yes, sir.
Against Stop and Go, who is Louis Bitesh.
You want to take it over?
No, I'll let you take it over. I think we just have an announcement here on the phone number. The phone number to text it?
Oh, okay. Alright, so anybody want to call in at any time during the night? Its number is 347-462-9373. We'll give it to them. Or you can text the number that we sent out in the email, either or. If you do hear a busy tone though, please give us a minute and call us back because the
should be watching the show anyway,
yeah,
so you'll know.
The phone's going to be off the hook.
Management, Stop and Go. Great game. Eddie Elbaz on the mound, game 1, but it was not pretty.
Could you just explain to us why Eddie Elbaz was on the mound and why he wasn't on the mound in game 2? You could run through that real quickly for us.
He was supposed to be on the mound for both games. Nathan was supposed to be on his way to Japan. His flight got delayed, so it turns out he showed up for game 2.
He called up Elbaz. He's like, Elbaz, you got it. You got it. You got it game 1. I got game 2. You got it.
So what was Nate going to Tokyo for? Obviously we know there's great scouting, great baseball out there. Did it have anything to do with that?
World Baseball Classic. Navy was actually joining the USA team in the qualifiers for the World Baseball Classic.
I thought he was just going for work. I don't know.
No. It was World Baseball Classic, and flight got delayed, so he was able to get a couple extra innings in here.
Beauty.
Yeah.
Okay. Game started off a little shaky for A.B. Hittery on the mound. As you know, he had an injury a few weeks back. Started off a little wild. That's his weakness, and it showed up early and often. I think he walked a couple of guys to start the game, and they jumped off. Lewis' team jumped off to a four-run lead. Eddie Elbaz got into a groove, gave up 2 quick runs, but after that, it was a mild game. Defense on both ends. By the last inning, they tacked on some more runs, Lewis's team, and it was never really close. Couple of notes. Freddie Hittery, very strong defensively, had a couple of nice shots. And again, Eddie was the Eddie he was of the past.
Right.
Game 2, Nathan.
Who won that game?
Lewis's team. It was a rout, turned into a rout by the last inning. They had a lot of runs in 7th.
So you guys weren't there that game?
No.
Still moving on.
A lot of stuff going on in the Abe co-management huddle. Who pitches? When do we pull him? You know, AB did settle down nicely. After the four runs, I don't think he gave up a run till the last inning, if I'm not mistaken. He was really, he settled down nicely.
Let me put in some comment over there. I can understand why there's mixing in the management over there, because you had Seton, who pitched 2 weeks ago, unbelievably.
Right.
Absolutely.
So why, let me ask you, as being part of the regime over there, why wasn't Hittery on a short leash?
AB was one of our captains picking the team.
Right.
He's a big part of this. You don't want to bash a guy and he was hurt. He's hurt, the guy, you take him out. You give him another shot. Turns out he didn't do well first game, and Joe Seton started second game. As simple as that.
How did AB feel after?
gotta
How did he react?
You got to keep in mind, he was a Gold Glove first baseman.
Yeah.
It's not like you're putting him on the bench. He could hold his own. First base is excellent.
Is there any chance A.B. Hittery starts for you guys next week?
Not unless something changes in the next 24 hours. So, for the
That's
next
breaking
couple
news.
of days. So,
Our manager has just announced that A.B. Hittery will not be the starting pitcher for you guys.
I'm not the captain of this team.
Are you insinuating that it'll be Joe Seton?
I'm insinuating there was some extracurricular activity
Okay.
over the last couple hours by A.B. Ash and Joe S.
Okay.
Let me go into game 2 really quickly.
Let me give you a shout out. I heard you broke the Gold Glove out
Stellar.
this week.
Stellar.
Playing some Stellar D. Tracking
good
the bloops
Heard
all
that.
over the place.
Sorry about it. Like Teddy Ishak of the past.
Who?
Yeah.
It was a good game. I had a very strong game defensively. I felt comfortable. You always have an extra incentive playing against Nathan. You don't want to give up any runs, any extra base runners. This team was very weak defensively.
I was going to say, how's their lineup?
Very weak. I think you all fear Nathan, and Nathan's great and everything, but you can't. He's one guy. There's 12 guys on a team. The other teams, their hitting struggled. David Farka was their biggest bat, and we try to avoid him. There was a couple situations where we had to pitch to him.
Not much protection.
Not much protection. Mark Braha struggled against A.B. Hittery, a couple of strikeouts. He's their second best hitter.
Yeah.
So
Is there too much pressure on Falcon on this team?
believe it or not, the answer to their problems is probably with Lewis and Nathan's bat. It's a big deal. They have to hit.
Right.
And Nate hit pretty well last year.
In the beginning of the year,
He's a good hitter. He's a good hitter.
He leveled off. Nate leveled off at the end of last year. He had a great, coming out of the gate strong, and then he really put all his focus and attention onto pitching and slowed down on his bat. So
Nathan's an athlete, and if he just cares, he could be a good hitter. All right, let's go to the game. It happened to be a great game. We got 2 runs early in the first inning off Nathan. They got 1 back in the bottom. Are you listening? Am I talking?
Yeah, the people are
the next
listening.
segment.
They got 1 back in the bottom of the first 2-1 going into the 7th inning.
Yeah, for sure.
And bases loaded, 1 out. We have a 2-run lead the entire game. Top of the 7th, bases loaded. David Fark at the plate. We huddle up, bring the whole team in.
I love that. You love that.
Guys,
Just loves it. Loves it.
And that's the management of the ACO.
I used to be on this team that was called 2 times, and we used to have to do 2 times every inning.
They come to win too. They'll come to
2
win.
times.
Right.
So
It's
we're
the
already in.
management.
We had a situation going on.
What was the strategy against Farka in that situation? How many outs, and what was the strategy?
1 out, bases loaded. We're up by 1 run. We're obviously trying to minimize the damage here.
Infield in?
Infield's in. I'm on the left side. We're going 4 across the entire game. We went 3, I believe. 3 in the outfield, and I stacked the left side.
The right
Little
side.
triangle.
The right side. The lefty.
I was jumping across the
You
infield.
played second base.
Long story short, David hit a fly ball to the left field, sack fly. Honestly,
He did his job.
I'll
He
take
went
it.
opposite.
He did his job, but he did his job for a 6-7 hitter over there. As the 4 hitter on that team, as being the elite hitter on
Right.
that team, Dave, you gotta get it. You'll take it, but yes, he did his job. He didn't do anything wrong,
Sure, he'll take
but
it.
he's got to come through.
Yeah.
He's got to come
Bottom
through.
line
More
is-
is expected out of him at that play.
1-run lead the entire game. That situation, I'll take a deep breath. I'll take it. I like our chances.
2 out now.
We got the next guy.